Hey, what's up, everyone? Adam here with brahwegotthis, and today we are going to read and respond and react to an article that the studio director Matt Fior, I think that's how you say his name, has addressed or put on, or they put on the website for, ESO, and it's basically just a 2021 retrospective letter to kind of look back on 2021 and looking forward. I think there's going to be some interesting details. I read like half of it already. Maybe looking forward to the next year, but also just giving thoughts on some things that happened this year. So I thought it'd be interesting to kind of talk about that a little bit and see kind of what he says. And so let me know down in the comments below if you guys, what you guys think about this letter. So it's end of 2021, so it's time to look back and take stock of the year that was and look forward to 2022. We do this every year, but this year seems different than the others, even 2020, which was, by every measure, a difficult year in itself. To jump to the conclusion first, we are approaching the end of a very successful but difficult year. As the pandemic grinds on, we are doing everything we can to keep ESO on the rails, give you new content, and keep all of us safe and healthy. But this has not been easy. Most of us have families, and for obvious reasons, we have prioritized the health and safety of our families and ourselves above everything else. The constant stress and anxiety caused by the realities of life during 2021 have taken a noticeable toll on us. I will say that I think that they have done a great job with releasing content in all of this. I mean, they've worked from home with a lot of it, so I do commend them for that for sure. I mean, that is definitely tough. We are doing well. ESO is doing well, and we will move forward into 2022. But we are tired and anxious, and I believe everyone will join me in the sentiment that the thing we wish for the most in 2022 is for the world to return to normal. Here are some updates to items we talked about during 2020. The ESO, EU, and NA data center hardware refresh is ongoing, but our timelines have been greatly extended by the global shortage of computer hardware. To give you all an idea of impact, some key hardware devices are delayed by 1 year, but most are delayed by 3 to 5 months, and we have intended to have this process complete this year, but it has taken us far longer than we thought it would. This is frustrating for us as it is for you, trust me, but progress is being made and we will get there. That is kind of crazy because I have been wondering about the servers, because they did say that that was going to be something that was a big thing this year. And that makes sense. I mean, there is a lot of shortages. I mean, there's tons of shortages right now. So that is pretty crazy, actually. So maybe that's not looking like it's going to happen until next year, or fully done until next year. One of our goals for 2021 was to right the ship a bit when it came to major update launches. And with our focus on stability and better launches, we succeeded. Launches in 2020, especially Greymore, were rough. It resulted in far too much unexpected downtime. So even though there's always room for improvement, we are in a much better place now since 2021's updates have launched far more smoothly. I do think that is true. The 2021 launches, they had problems, but they didn't have as much as Greymore. Greymore had some pretty bad downtimes. Markhearth especially had some pretty crazy bugs as well. So that is actually pretty true. The thing we are most proud of over the course of 2021 and 2020 is that we have given you all a safe virtual place to get away from the realities of the outside world, even if only for an hour or two. So many of you have played ESO, including many millions for the first time over the last 2 years, and have found a place of solace and peace in Tamriel when events on Earth became overwhelming. The ultimate goal of any game like ESO is to make the virtual environment an alternative to daily life in the real world, even if only for a little while. In this, ESO excels, and we are very proud of what we have achieved. Even with all the challenges, it was good. It was a good year for ESO. Millions of new players joined the game in 2021, and the game is as healthy and robust as ever. We introduced the world to Fargrave, a new Elder Scrolls Daedric plane, of course, the Arox Mutilator, our newly most beloved NPC. Overall, the story of the Daedric invasion of Nirn was well done and well received by you. We had a lot of fun putting together a story with hints of Oblivion, including part of its original game map. We also debuted companion NPCs in ESO, which have proven to be a remarkably popular feature and sit proudly in the group of solid systems we've added to the game over the years. Justice System, Assassinations, just to name a few. I'm not too hot on the companions, but I think for a lot of players it is a feature they liked. But here we go. Looking forward. Looking ahead to 2022, we will continue to do what we do best, tell great stories and keep the ESO train running. Our content plans will be to back off major plots with end of the world invasion themes for a bit to tell traditional Elder Scrolls story of political intrigue and factional infighting, concentrating on one of ESO's playable races that has not yet had a full cultural and historical deep dive. For more info, you have to wait for our traditional January reveal show. Interesting. So what I'm getting from that is there in a lot of these updates that we've had, it's been like big bad person comes to the world. We have to destroy big bad person, and then we do, and it's like, yay, we destroyed big bad person. Because if you think about it, even like elsewhere we had dragons, right? Then it's like Greymore, vampires, and it's like this year we had, Mehrunes Dagon. So they're going to go away from that. So they're going to focus on a playable race that has not yet had a full cultural. So I think right there that we're going to some sort of Redguard thing, right? Because I don't think we've really had any sort of Redguard stuff in the game. Like that has to be Redguard, right? High Elves were Somerset. Morrowind was Dark Elves. Elsewhere was Khajiit. Hrothgar was like what, Orcs? Yeah, it's got to be Redguard. We will also, with the understanding that some of these things are out of our control, keep working on refreshing data center hardware as quickly as we can. This will result in a more stable platform experience for you all. And of course, we will continue to work on performance and stability fixes and tweaks in every update. As I said above, we are prioritizing the wellness of our developers above everything else right now, so it'll be flexible when needed. We have been operating at a very high level of efficiency and productivity these last 7 years since launch, but the overall health of the ZOS team is of paramount importance to us, and we will proceed with our plans accordingly. We are still going to have our usual high-quality quarterly content, and we'll continue telling amazing stories, but we just may need to be a bit more selective in how we focus our efforts this coming year. It's really actually cool to see that they are wanting to prioritize their workers. I know that in this industry, gaming, apparently a lot of dev teams get overworked a lot. And it really, just from this, again, I can take it at face value, but it seems like they really want to prioritize that. Which is really cool that they want to keep their workers happy and they want to take care of them. I think that's important. But the interesting thing about this is that it sounds like to me that in this statement, they're going to have the quarterly updates, but maybe they're not going to get as ambitious or do as much ambitious things as they did in the past. Because the line about we're still going to have our usual high quality quarterly content, but we just may need to be a bit more selective with how we focus our efforts this coming year. Maybe they want to really, maybe they're going to tone back some of the content and maybe go full into existing stuff that's already in the game. I'm not really sure. That's a very interesting statement. Let's see what the wrapping up says. It says, obviously, simply thanking you, the community is severely understanding your impact on ESO and ZOS. You are a part of us in every sense of the word. Without you, there's no Elder Scrolls Online, and we start each and every day at work with this in mind. We are amazed at the success we've had and understand that you are the reason for it. Please stay healthy in 2022, enjoy the new content, and continue to find solace in the wonderful virtual world as needed. Happy holidays. I think I speak for everyone. Here's to a happier and healthier 2022. Matt and the ESO development team. It's very cryptic in some ways. There's no sort of specificity, if that makes sense, on maybe what is going to happen next year. Things that we do know, we're getting an update. That's something we do know. And it says it's not going to be revealed until the January thing. So I guess we're not going to get a trailer at the Game Awards. But it's very interesting to me because it sounds like they're maybe going to focus on not giving such a stretching themselves too thin. That's what I'm kind of taking away from it. Not stretching themselves too thin and really just trying to really focus maybe on things that are already in the game and improving all things already in the game, if that makes sense, which I'm all for. I said that this year. I said it would be awesome if they really focused and fleshed out some systems maybe that are already in the game, instead of just making a new system that is maybe harder to balance or, whatever it may be. So maybe that's what that means. That's really interesting. The other big thing to take away from this is I think we're confirmed. We're not confirmed. I'm not going to say that, but we're probably pretty. I mean, it says we're concentrating on one of the ESO's playable races that has not yet had a full cultural and historical deep dive. So that is interesting. So to me, that makes it sound like it's going to be somewhere in the Direfall Covenant. Because again, we've had Somerset, Elsewhere, Morrowind, Hrothgar, Blackwood, Greymoor. And Blackwood, you could say, is Imperial / Argonian. You could say Morrowind is Dark Elf. You could say High Elf for Somerset and maybe Wood Elves. You could say, what's it called? You could say Hrothgar's Orcs. And you could definitely, and then Greymoor was like Nords. And Elsewhere was Khajiit. So that leaves like Breton / Redguard for the last race. Like we really, I don't think have had a Redguard type of thing. So I think that definitely means we're going to be over there. But it's very interesting because it says that we're not going to be doing a major plot of End of the World invasion. So I'm really interested. This really intrigues me what we're going to have. I don't know what we're going to get, y'all. But I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think this means? What do you think the letter means? I commend the ZOS team tremendously. They've worked extremely hard on getting content out, especially over these last 2 years. And they're not perfect, but they're working hard. I believe that. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about this. Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear it. But yeah, this was an interesting read, and I'll keep you guys updated here in the channel for any other new updates we have on the next expansion. Just make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, heavy attack that bell icon so you don't miss any of the new content or new updates that come out. But until next time, y'all, just remember to have faith, be great, and I'll see you on ESO.